everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, as you can tell by the title, wow, I look like a box. As you can tell by the title of today's video, I am doing a story time of when I called the cops on myself. I called the cops on myself. I called the cops on myself. Legitimately 911 on myself. Why? Because I was extremely intoxicated, and that is just what I chose to do. I am not proud of this story. I'm not telling this because I think it's cool or bragging like,
oh my god, I did this, I got this drunk and it's so funny and cool.
No, I was actually really ashamed of this story for a long time, but now that it's been a year, I think it's something that I can just laugh about because I have learned from it and it's funny. So let's laugh together, let's learn a lesson from me. So if you guys would like to hear about me calling the cops on myself, please keep watching. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Even if you don't like it, give it a thumbs up. Let's just get into this story, shall we? What the hell is that? This was last fall. I'm just gonna give you guys the whole day, like the whole entire day, play by play, because you know what, why not? It was the Michigan State and Central Michigan football game day. So in other words, we started drinking at about 9 a.m. Popped a bottle of champagne as soon as we woke up, drank mimosas all morning, White Claws.
There ain't no law through doing claws.
I hate myself. The whole group of us, we pre-gamed here, we got ready here, we went to tailgate on MSU's campus. We were all just like drinking all day. I mean, if you're a college student, if you go to MSU, if you go to Central, when you tailgate to get extremely intoxicated. Unless that's just me. That's not just me. I mean, that's like literally the goal. You don't just tailgate to have a couple beers. Like, you're tailgating to like literally go home and go to bed. After our naps and our dinner and more pre-gaming at nighttime, we went out to the bars on MSU's campus. We went to the bar called Luha's. If you're from the area or have partied here ever, you will know exactly the bar I'm talking about. It's like our favorite bar to go to in East Lansing. But if you're not from the area, I don't know really how else to explain it. Otherwise, it's just like a college bar. I don't know. So the last thing that I like fully remember is arriving at Luha's, arriving to Luha's. I like to call this phase of the night the brownout, which I'm sure most of you have experienced. A brownout, in my opinion, is when you remember the night, but there's some pieces that are missing that you're kind of like, what happened in between here? But it's not like a complete gone, you know what I'm saying? So I remember getting to Luha's. I remember seeing some friends in there. I remember getting a couple drinks. I'm a beer drinker, so I was just drinking bottled Bud Light. It's not like I'm just taking shots and vodka and tequila and this and that. Like, I'm literally just drinking beer and White Claw.
Basic, I know.
But then all of a sudden, I hit a wall, and I don't remember anything from then on. So a part of me that next day, and honestly like a couple weeks after, in my mind I'm like, oh, I got roofied for sure. Like, absolutely no doubt in my mind I got roofied. But now I feel like I don't like to just say that, because I feel like I was drinking all day long from morning till night, so there's a good chance I just really overdid it, but we'll get there, okay? So I just hit this wall. I don't remember anything from getting like my second beer at Luha's to this. I will post a picture of what I wore that night. I wore a white tank top bodysuit, and then all of a sudden I like come back to life, and like seriously, imagine this. It's so fucking creepy and weird. I remember looking down at my hands like this, and I had like a white long sleeve on, and I remember thinking to myself like, why do I have sleeves? Because I wore a tank top with nothing over top of it. On top of that, the sleeves were soaking wet. Like, my hands were wet. I was outside and it was raining. So it was like Luha's that moment. And then, now this is like the most like fucked up part of all of this. I remember, this is like when I came back to, and I was in a home, I was in a house. All the lights were off. The lighting that was in the home was literally from outside. Like, the street lights coming in. That was the only lighting in the house, and I was in there by myself. There was no one else in this house. And I was like slumped on the couch like this. I remember I just like opened my eyes and like looked down, and I was wearing that shirt that I remembered in the previous block of weirdness that I remembered. I literally can picture this house in my head, and I have no idea whose home this is. And if you were to ask me to take you to this house right now or apartment or whatever, I would not be able to at all. And so I stood up and I walked outside. And I remember I looked around and I had no clue where I was. I knew what was going on, but like not really. So at this moment, I wish I could tell you what I was thinking, but I can't. I called 911. And it's weird to me because like normal me, coherent me, like if I'm in a sticky situation, I would call Paige or my mom or my dad. But I didn't. I called 911. And to be honest with you, I don't really remember the 911 call. I didn't then, and I don't now. The only thing I remember saying is like,
Hi, I don't know where I am and I really need to go home.
like, why would I have called an Uber? I don't know. I mean, honestly, like thinking back, I don't know what the fuck happened or what. I don't know anything. And it's so like hard for me to talk about because I truly don't know. And it scares the shit out of me, and it like almost disgusts me with like, I don't even know how to even like speak about it. But I remember just saying,
Hi, I don't know where I'm at. Like, I want to go home.
I couldn't tell you if she stayed on the phone with me until the cop got there. I couldn't tell you any of that. I can't tell you anything from between when I called and when the cop arrived. But I remember the cop arrived, and he got out of the car, and he came up to me, and he shined his flashlight in my face, and he was asking me questions like, "What? Do you know your name? Do you know what the day is? Do you know who the president is? Do you know like what state you're in?" Like questions like that. And I remember answering those questions. Like I remember saying,
I'm Lauren Brink, and our president is Donald Trump.
I mean, just picture me. I'm like, like, it's not funny, but it kind of is funny. He put me in the back of the cop car and took me home. He asked for my address, and I couldn't tell it to him. I had to like give him directions on how to get there. Once we got home, I realized I didn't have my apartment keys. So I remember this part. Like really good. And I do remember that the seats in the back of the cop car were really hard. They were like plastic, like not comfortable, obviously. It was like plastic seating. But when we got home, I'm like,
I don't have my keys, so I need help to get it.
we live on the basement level, so I can like break in if I have to. But I remember I just like went over and started pounding on Paige's window. So Paige, of course, has no idea what's going on. She's probably like,
What the fuck? Like, who the hell is doing this?
she opens it and she sees me standing there with a fucking cop. Hello, what the hell? Like, she's probably like, what the fuck is going on? She runs outside, like literally in a t-shirt and underwear. Like, what did she do? Is she in trouble? And he's like, I'm just making sure she got home safe. Are you okay? Is this your roommate? Whatever. And she's like, yeah. And I remember coming into the apartment, there was people in my bed, like our friends that came, and I was just like,
You guys gotta get out. Get out of my bed.
this was like 6 a.m. too. Like this wasn't like 2 or 3. This was like 6 a.m. So who the fuck knows what I did from Luhas to 5:30 a.m. when I called the cops? I have no idea. I have no idea whose house that was at, whose house that was. I have no idea how I got there, who I went with, how I got in that house. Flash forward to the next day. Everybody wakes up. Everybody's like, Lauren, what the hell happened to you? And I'm like, what the hell happened to me? I don't know. And after talking to everybody and like placing the stories together, I still have no idea what happened between those time frames. But what I was told from the people that we were with, that I went out with that night, was that at Luhas, I was just all over the place. Here, there, up and down, everywhere. And my one friend, Debbie, she's like, Lauren, I was chasing you around like a lost puppy. Like, I couldn't even keep track of you. Which I'm like, who was I like chasing after? I don't know. My friend Jalen said that, well, Jalen and Debbie both said that we were all outside. I was like frigid, like so cold I was shaking, and I was just like calling for someone, like yelling someone's name, like looking for someone, and the name, I don't know who it was. Because I was so cold, Jalen took his shirt off, which is the white shirt, the sleeves that I saw. He took his shirt off, gave it to me, and then supposedly I just took off running. And no one knows where I went. And I don't like blame my friends at all. This is like, I don't expect any of them to chase after me. I probably would have just been like, okay, well, if I can't fucking handle her, she can handle herself, like whatever. They didn't know that I was like completely gone. And so that's literally all I know. And so from the time frame of then to 5:30 when I like came back to life, I have no clue what happened at all. So after everybody left that next day, and after hearing everybody's like story about like how weird I was and everything, my anxiety was like so bad. I'm sure some of you can relate to this, like the day after drinking, like depression and anxiety, especially if I'm alone, like it's so bad. So it was bad already just because I had drank literally all day long, but I just like felt weird, a feeling I had never felt before. And I was like, Mom, I just need you to like come get me, like take me home. I just want to be home. So that's what kind of like made us all think I was roofied, because of like the weird feeling I had the next day. Like it wasn't like a hangover, it was like weird. I can't even explain it. But now, like a year later, and just kind of like, I don't know, growing up, I guess, I don't even know if that's like something that I can relate to this at all, but it's just like, you know what, I don't want to even blame it on a roofie, because regardless, I drank like a crazy person that day, and I could have just done that to myself. The best part of this story though, seriously, is about a week later, I got a letter in the mail from the Meridian Township Police Department. When I got it, I was like,
Shit.
did something else happen that I don't know? Like, why are they mailing me right now? The letter that they sent me. Dear customer,
citizen feedback is essential to ensure quality service. Please take a few moments to complete the enclosed questionnaire from the Meridian Township Police Department. This quality assurance procedure has been implemented so that our customers can evaluate our delivery of law enforcement services. Your input is valuable and important to our success. We appreciate your participation and support.
they literally wanted me to rate my service. Did I rate my service? No. This is literally hung up on our fridge because Paige thinks it is the funniest thing in the universe. Also, I don't think I really can rate my service with you, officer, when I don't know anything that happened. So, but I am thankful for the Meridian Township Police Department, whoever the cop was. I'm appreciative because whoever that was could have been a real asshole and taken me to jail and put me in the drunk tank, or would have said like fuck off, call an Uber, you know. So I am really thankful. I probably should have rated my service or like wrote a letter or something, but I had to keep this because it's so funny. All right, you guys, well, that concludes my story time of calling the cops on myself. Like I said in the beginning, I am not proud of this story at all. It's actually really embarrassing and like shameful, but at the same time, it's something to laugh about and a learning experience for everyone. So number one, ladies, gents, when you're at the bar, cover your drink. Make sure nobody's putting any drugs in you. Second of all, know your limits with drinking, okay? And don't do what I did. Well, I guess do what I did if you're in my situation, like call 911. If you feel like you're in danger, call 911. Okay, well, hopefully you guys aren't judging me for my story. Hopefully you guys got a laugh from it and cringed a little bit or wanted to throw up like me. Well, I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a good night, a good day, good life, whatever you're doing. I hope it is great. And I will see you guys in my next video. Peace and blessings, bitches.